put in place initiatives, policies, and structural reforms to get to 7% per annum growth, because it is at that level that you begin to lift a substantial number of Nigerians out of poverty. Critical has been the oil sector. Mr. President made oil production at about 1.23 million barrels per day. Increased it all the way up to nearly 8% right now. It is still below the budgetary target, but I think we all saw the news and we all saw that there's a wholesale change at the NNPC, which with a mandate to increase oil production, to reduce costs and achieve greater efficiency in that all-important sector. If we want to look at, as I mentioned before, we will be looking to really move on from stabilizing the economy. And that stability, as we said earlier, has come from growing the economy, reducing the budget deficit, reducing debt service as a percentage of GDP, and of course on the monetary side, stabilizing the exchange rate, increasing the reserves, increasing the trade balance. But then from then we have to kick on. And the plan is, first of all, the agricultural value chain to increase not just the productivity and the production of food in Nigeria, but at the same time, look carefully at what is happening in terms of the gap, the food supply gap that is causing problems with nutrition and of course food availability and food affordability. And so the plan is, on the one hand, to open up that sector so that we have enough availability of food, and at the same time we do not shortchange domestic production. And what we may suffer in terms of reduced prices from where they are today, which is what we need to achieve, will make up for by increased productivity by domestic producers. And likewise infrastructure, particularly digital infrastructure that speaks to the youth demographic. We have 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable that are going in, and basically will also amend that sector so that the investments that have been made, the fiber that has been laid, the underground cables that have been put in place, and the facilities for provision of data are made available not just to those who can invest in the heavy infrastructure, but to others, to the young people with the ideas, with the ability to code, and with the ability to carry out e-commerce. So structural changes are coming in, which makes those who have invested in those facilities, will make them share on the private sector, a willing buyer, willing seller basis. And likewise in the trade sector, there will be, and there is, an ongoing national single window project, which will not just improve trade administration, port, the experience at the ports, but it will also key into what is important at this particular time. And that is, clearly, with what's going on with this regime of reciprocal tariffs, we have to look inward. We have a 300 million strong or more strong regional ECOWAS market. We have a 1.3 billion people strong African market. We have, thanks to the competitive exchange rate, we have an opportunity to produce for manufacturing, which will be a major earner of foreign exchange, driver of growth, despite the global uncertainty and despite the constrained international trading climate. Let me just round up that push for growth by giving us a clear picture that having stabilized the economy, when we improve the agricultural sector, infrastructure sector, not just particularly in digital, but also across the board, the ports, rail, road, and we have huge opportunity to crowd in the private sector. We're doing transactions now that the private sector are coming in and concessioning. We have on the not just on the drawing board, but almost signed off 1,000 kilometers of road, which about 9 companies have finished doing all the processing, and the first one has been handed over to the private sector. But there are 4,000 kilometers more which have been outlined. So we are looking to really, at a time of constrained fiscal space, crowd in the private sector. And of course, the other area in which we are looking to really get things moving is by providing access to finance at all levels for the micro industries, small and medium scale, and of course the larger scale. So that will take structural reforms in the area of finance. So between agriculture, between infrastructure, and between financial reforms, we will put this country on the road to 7% per annum growth, which is where we need to be. Thank you.